Good morning, everyone. It is April 8th, 2019. I'm Eric. Wonder why I said 4th. Alright, I have two for you this morning, both about Donald Trump. Trump urges GOP to consider a 25-cent hike in the gas tax. Isn't that just nice of them? As if our gas prices haven't skyrocketed enough, we have this asshole urging the GOP to hike it even further. And then, over here, there's another one, Dumb Lies Trump Says. And these are both on AboveTopSecret.com. And I know my last Trump video, I got heavy condemnation on BitChute by a Trump supporter, but and political sycophants never ever see the crimes of their preferred candidate. So there was no point in even responding. I just simply typed as response, okay. So, you get your multiple daily swipes at the libtards and could go woot woot, go team. Get your stars and flags. But do any of you Trump supporters worry about what the president is saying? Do you have your head so far up his ass that you let him get away with his lies? Whether or not any of his policies have helped or hurt our country, I want to know, do you Trump supporters find it okay that he lies about everything? And he does. He lies about the economy. He lies about police. He lied about being an anti-vaxxer, or at very minimum questioning what these vaccines are doing to children. I mean, he's lied so much, and yet the Trump supporters out there will never, ever acknowledge that they've been duped, that they've been lied to. And in another damage-causing move, he has urged Congress to hike our gas tax. And, I mean, everything else is already starting to go up. Food, gas is already expensive as fuck. And clothes, and so on and so forth. And yet, he's going to continue. And I know 25 cents doesn't sound like a lot, but when you multiply that by 10 gallons, that's an additional, what, $2.50. And you do that 3 or 4 times a week, well then you're skimping out on something else, maybe groceries, or, hey, drugs. So, President Trump tried Wednesday to persuade his fellow Republicans to raise the gas tax. In a closed-door meeting on infrastructure with members of both parties, Trump pitched the idea of a 25 cents increase in the gas tax, which hasn't been raised since 1993. There's a growing rift among Republicans about whether it's worth considering a tax hike to fund much-needed upgrades to American roads and bridges. Well, let me stop right there. We already pay taxes for these things, and yet none of them are getting done. Even if they create a new tax, that new tax money will be diverted to something else. Maybe like cramming more people into the county jails in this country. To my surprise, President Trump today in our meeting offered his support for raising the gas and diesel tax by 25 cents a gallon. Now, if he raises the diesel tax, that further diminishes the what would you call, incentives for truckers to keep trucking. Let me see, all right. Let me restart here. In quotes, to my surprise, President Trump today in our meeting offered his support for raising the gas and diesel tax by 25 cents a gallon and dedicated that money to improving our roads, highways, and bridges, said Senator Thomas R. Carper, a Democrat from Detroit, who attended the meeting. Carper supports the increase and said Trump came back to the idea of a 25-cent increase several times throughout the meeting. The president even offered to help provide the leadership necessary so that we can do something that has proven difficult in the past. Now, it seems like every move he's made on the economy, and this is part of the economy, has been to our detriment. Yes, we did, or some people did, get additional monies in their paychecks, but that additional money was taken from their tax return. So there was no additional money. It was a scam. By the way, this happened almost 2 months ago, and it didn't see a whole lot of press or web traffic. So this individual thought they'd bring it up in this discussion. And he asked, Trump, are you out of your goddamn mind? And my answer to that, yes, Trump is out of his goddamn mind. Just like Barack Obama was out of his goddamn mind, and Bush before him. Now, I told you a few videos back that I seriously doubted that Trump would be reelected in 2020, and he doing things like this increases the probability that he won't. So this author goes on to say, if Trump wants to ruin his chances for 2020, then raising taxes is a surefire way to do it. My God, all the left does is talk about raising taxes. And here, the so-called right-winger wants to raise your taxes too. And D.C. still spends like a bunch of retarded monkeys on meth. Why not just go ahead and give the country over to the Marxist assholes who want to tax us all out of existence? Raising taxes would screw up so many things, it would be catastrophic. Trump, you do this, you're an asshole, and I will not forget. And he's done other asshole things like bump stock bans. And people are not going to forget this shit. Some of you diehard motherfucking Trump supporters, you may continue to cram your nose far up his ass, but it doesn't make him a good leader. Just because you cram your nose up his ass does not make him a good leader. It makes you a stupid follower. And this author goes on to say, do not raise my taxes, God damn it. So, here, let me show you this comment right quick, since I'm on a roll. Got lots of them on that video. A few people very, very pissed off that I dare say anything about their beloved God, Donald Trump. And some of them, you know, And they write these really, 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 really long paragraphs. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I do want you to get some sense of just how sycophantic these people are. Alright, and this dude says, first of all, I'm a Trump supporter, and many of my friends are as well. You couldn't be more wrong if you think myself or any of my friends that support our president would give him a free pass if he was proven to be a pedophile. Well, man, I mean, he has taken rides on Lolita Express. He has gone to Jeffrey Epstein's island, which is specifically for what? Pedophilia, orgies, and other disgusting behaviors. So, you may not be able to get a document that says Donald Trump did, is a pedophile, but you can kind of get an idea by who he keeps company with. And man, he kept company with Jeffrey Epstein, one of the biggest fucking perverts on this planet. He goes on to say, that's pretty ignorant and harsh, or that's a pretty ignorant and harsh accusation, considering you have no facts or evidence to support it, except the fact that his number was in Jeffrey Epstein's black book along with his wives and his daughters. Your perception of reality is so skewed that you have no clue that you are comparing apples to oranges when talking about Republicans and Trump supporters giving Trump a free pass on his actions. And so far, that's all they've done. In the clips you played and spoke about, what laws did Trump break? And is that what it really boils down to? What laws he broke? What about his overall morality? What about his lying? I mean, you don't become a extremely rich billionaire by being a nice guy or even being a law-abiding citizen. All of those billionaires bent the laws or broke them outright in some way, shape, or form to get themselves where they are. They also stepped on anyone who stood as an obstacle to them. I mean, in some states it's still legal for men to marry young children, or young girls specifically, and it's legal. Just because it's legal doesn't make it right. I mean, these people will defend him even if he did shoot somebody in Central Park or wherever dickhead said they would support him. He goes on to say, what crimes did President Trump commit? That's the same thing as asking me what laws he broke. And they are not holding him accountable. If we're just now hearing about this tax hike 2 months after he proposed it, then you're not holding him accountable. Just saying. And I'm pretty sure after he is done being the president, just like Bill Clinton and many of the others, a whole shitload of dirt will surface on him, and all of us who told you that he was a fucking another scumbag pedophile will be proven correct. Anyway, thought I'd share this with you. Hope you all have a good day. Kill the state, live free.